Hello, everyone. Welcome. How are you? As one of my deacons says, this is the best day of my life. So, yes, let's uplift ourselves on that note and consider this the best day of your life. How are you out there? Welcome, welcome. Zenobia here at Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle. We're actually going to do part 2. So we're extending Women's History Month by one day because I had such a hot women jazz instrumentalist playlist that I'm going to do the second half today. So enjoy. I'll be back in a bit. Hi. Hello, hello. Okay. Just music stuff everywhere. You just experienced Mary Lou Williams, and that piece. It sounds well to me. It sounds very contemporary. She's like a fabulous, fabulous musician that my guest last week lauded, Dr. Don Norfleet. Oh, by the way, let me stop for a second. If you didn't catch last week's show, it's actually up on the YouTube channel, and that's youtube.com, and then you search Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle. So I specifically took time to upload that particular show because I got a lot of emails and some Facebook action about that particular topic, the guest, and the show. So it's up. So you just search Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle. You'll click on the Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle channel, and it's show 33 for March 25th, 2015. That's the whole show. But there is a special playlist that's there on the channel, and it's called Women Jazz Instrumentalists. And it's some selections that you'll hear today. You'll hear the music today. But I grabbed those because they're wonderful pieces, first of all. And this that you just heard is one of those. And so it gives you kind of a taste of my whole thing for celebrating women jazz instrumentalists. So you just heard Mary Lou Williams. And that was a solo piece that I've got all my different playlists here. That was you can find that piece in the Jazz Instrumentalist playlist on YouTube, and that was just her solo blues piano piece. That was very cool. But prior to that was her as well, and that was a piece called It Ain't Necessarily So. You might recognize that if you're old school jazz and blues. And that was, I wanted to read the whole title, and that was Mary Lou Williams. And oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to talk about this new mic too. We're trying out some new stuff. I wanted to grab the whole title because I thought it was really cool. But I have to do it from my laptop, which is down here. And that is Mary Lou Williams. Actually, I'm going to hold it because I can't see it. Mary Lou Williams presents The Black Christ of the Andes. Okay, that's why I wanted to say that. And prior to that was... let's see, Don't Mind If I Do, and that was Joyce Cooling, guitar, and that's from Third Wish. And then opening up this set was a tune called Before I Go, and that was Cindy Bradley. She plays trumpet, and that is from Bloom. So yes, this is a tribute to women jazz instrumentalists. Not so much vocalists today. I'm not sure if I have any vocal pieces today, but I might have some in there. But the point is that if they are a vocalist and they're in this playlist, they also are master musicians as well. So some really cool, fun stuff coming up. Okay, Zenobia here. The Touchable Tech Diva. This is Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle. Tech tools, toys, news, hot jazz, passionate living. And today is going to be kind of an easy day. I got a lot of news. So for today, you will get my POV. What is POV? That's my point of view about several hot topics that are floating around in mainstream media as well as in my tech world. And I'm just going to give you some of my perspective. So this is me and how I look at some of this news that's going to impact you, which is why I'm talking about it, because I want to present it to you as just food for thought. And you can look at your own life and see how some of this will affect you, because most of it will, whether you like it or not. Because as you know, technology is all pervasive. So in a way, we still have to pay attention to how it's going to impact us so that we can use it better for our lives. So we're going to get back to some more music. And I will say that we're here at the RMC Studios. Thank you, RMC Studios. Broadcasting live, and this is live on Wednesdays, noon to 2 Pacific time. We're in Los Angeles, but it's live wherever you are on the planet because this is a global show. I have people that are watching, listening in Russia, in South Korea, all over the place. So, pass the word, tell your friends, and welcome to my party here. Okay, Zenobia here. I'll see you in a bit.
Thank you.
Okay, head bopping going on in here. That was nice. Sabine. Now, Sabine has been a guest. So if you go back to, I believe it's the December 10th show on the Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle channel, you'll catch Sabine. Very talented, very, very talented. She's from Russia, but she's been here crafting her skills for a long, long time. That's called Purple Mood, and that's from her CD that she self-produced, called Keys to the City of Los Angeles. It says Los Angeles, but it's Los Angeles. So if you would go to her Facebook page and like her Facebook page, I support all kinds of young artists like this, and see about picking up her CD or buying some of her tunes on iTunes. Okay, prior to that, we had, let's see, that was number 7, number 6. Okay, this was a very, very different piece, but I love this CD when I'm in a certain mood and I don't want to hear rap, I don't want to hear anything really intense and just take me into a whole different mood. It was called Song for Winnie, and it's by the Uptown String Quartet, and it's from an album called Max Roach Presents the Uptown String Quartet. So I included this in because this is a very talented set of African American women who have a string quartet, which is very, very unusual. But what they do is do their interpretation of jazz classics. So I don't know if you can find this. It's probably a hard CD to find, but check it out. Yeah, it's very different. It's a classical string quartet, which is really cool. But if you know old school jazz, it's Max Roach. You'll know Max Roach. Okay, so Zenobia here. We've got some news. Let's see, did I skip a piece? No, I'm looking at what's going to be coming up, which is really, really cool too. You know, when I was researching for this, I thought, well, let me just look and see. And I didn't think that I was going to get a very long playlist of women jazz instrumentalists, but turns out there's a lot. And I do have to thank, you know what, I forgot to announce Dr. Dawn's tune. She opened up with Morro Bay. Okay, Dr. Dawn, I call her Dr. Dawn, I like the sound of that. Dawn Norfleet, who was a guest at the last show, wonderful talent. She's a PhD in ethnomusicology. And her dissertation, which I have been trying to locate online, I think you have to subscribe to Howard University's library to be able to get it, because I think that it's there. But anyway, or Columbia, because she got her PhD at Columbia. You have to subscribe to their library to get it. But her dissertation was on hip-hop and verbal communication, or verbal improvisation. And I thought that's a really, really cool concept, because in jazz, improvisation happens a lot. So for her to juxtapose the two together, I thought was really fascinating. So I'm really looking forward to finding that dissertation and reading it. And this particular piece that you heard, the Morro Bay piece, she composed this piece for an 8-piece set of musicians when she went to Canada to the Banff festival and workshop. She was there for 3 weeks, and as part of that program, she was to compose a piece. So she did this particular piece for 8 pieces, and I think, you know, I so honor people that can do this kind of thing. I'm not that kind of an artist. I'm a big cheerleader, but I think it's like fabulous. So go back and find that piece. You can Google it, or I think it's on iTunes, Morro Bay, M-O-R-R-O Bay, and take a listen to that again, because it's very rich. Okay, so I ended up getting a lot of suggestions from Dawn of women musicians that she knew of, that she had worked with, or were mentors of her, or idols of her, influences, I should say. And so she brought me quite a few, and there were a couple of them that I said, oh yeah, I forgot about her. So I sent her an email and I said, thank you for my oh yeah moments, because I remembered. So I'm going to play a couple of them in a little bit. But it turns out we went so much into our interview last week, I didn't get to play all of the music, so that's why I'm extending Women's History Month by 1 day and finishing out my playlist because I ended up getting a lot of tunes. And so we're going to do some of those and actually show, I think, a couple of videos because there's so much energy in a couple of these videos. I told Chris, we're just going to play the YouTube videos because of the energy. And okay, so I said that I had some news and you're going to get my point of view. I do want to mention, though, that this is April, and at the end of April, I'm front-loading you. The end of April, on Thursday, April 30th, is International Jazz Day. So I'm front-loading you about this because there are going to be some special things that are going to happen all across the jazz world during the month, and not just on that particular day. But I wanted you to calendar that day because the day before, on the 29th, is my show, and I plan to do something very, very special for International Jazz Day. So I'm telling you, put this on your calendar for April 29th as the pre-International Jazz Day. I just realized I still have my headphones in my ears. I can just take those out. Chris, you're supposed to catch that from me. Not that it's a big deal. Anyway, so I'm going to have something very, very special on that day, and I want you to tune in Wednesday, April 29th. Okay, it's noon to 2 Pacific time, but figure out your time zone. And even if you're in a different part of the globe and it's at night, this is going to be worth you tuning in for. Okay, so I just wanted to put that on your radar. That goes on the floor now. I did that. Okay, so news. Dear people, it turns out that you guys aren't buying CDs much anymore. So one of my first news pieces is retail music revenues were flat last year, 2014. So I want to bring this up because this is a sign of consumers shifting their technology use to other devices, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But anyway, this is an article that I grabbed out of the LA Times on March 19th. Oh, I didn't get the author. Okay, but it's the Los Angeles Times. And it says the U.S., this is for the U.S., so I'm addressing the U.S. The U.S. retail music business was essentially flat in 2014 as growth in streaming revenue helped offset a further decline in sales of CDs, and this is a report from the Recording Industry Association of America. Okay, so let's talk about the RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America. That's the watchdog, well, I say watchdog, but it's the organization that tracks and is the trade organization for recorded music, audio and music on any kind of device. So, and they're the ones that track copyright infringements as well, and also, you know, when music is stolen, that whole thing. So they keep a watchful eye on that. And there, I have to say, when music, this is a bit of history. This will take you back a little bit. Back in the 80s and the 90s, once compact discs became mainstream and everybody was having compact discs, and when the internet became an attraction to consumers to watch different information to use, actually start using, of course, one of the first things after pornography that took root on the internet was being able to play music back. Now, you know, you have a lot of, you know, CDs and movies that are stolen and sold for really, really cheap. You have that whole thing. So, of course, when the internet became pervasive, creative people, very creative minds, found a way to grab music and put it in, I call it, put it in a download piece where people could download the music for free. So then you had another place where music was taken without royalties being paid to the artists, to the producers, to the record companies. And it became really, really pervasive. This was in the mid-90s, and by the time the mid-90s happened and the end of the 90s, it was just it was like, you know, a bunch of cats that couldn't get put back in the bag. But I say this because once the RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America, realized what was going on and that there were billions of dollars of royalties that weren't getting paid because people were downloading music for free off of an internet website, they started lawsuits against people, against individuals. It got so deep that they were actually suing individuals for having downloaded music without paying royalties, or, like, for instance, not using iTunes, which to buy the music, which includes royalty payments. So the RIAA is very much about tracking and being the accountability arm for recorded music. So, and then they also track all the data on sales of recorded music. So that's where this report came from. And so they say overall retail revenue declined about 0.5%, well, that was not very much, to $6.9 billion. So there's still a lot of purchases of CDs going on. Wholesale revenue for the recorded music industry, meanwhile, grew 2% to 4.8. Okay, I won't bore you with all the details, but I'm just saying this to say that there's this shift that's happening where CDs put black vinyl out of business, although now there are what's called vanity press black vinyl where you can get actual records. And I went into a Whole Foods, well, I shop there a lot, and they actually have a section of black vinyl records that they're selling, and they're like vintage, like John Coltrane. There was actually a black vinyl of John Coltrane that was in the bin at the Whole Foods. Now it's over $20. No, I'm sorry, it's over $50 because it was really a vintage classic vanity copy of black vinyl. So a lot more detail and attention is paid to the production and the making of the actual disc than what used to be in the past. So so you can actually still buy black vinyl, but when the compact disc took hold, it actually killed the consumer black vinyl or records albums. 45s had gone away a long time ago, so the 33 RPM albums that I still have 7 boxes of, it really took a bad hit when compact discs came out. And so now, in 2015, especially in the last couple of years, with everybody with their devices, their computers, listening to music on their computers, you know, you have iTunes, you have Rhapsody, you have all these different, and Amazon, Google, all these different ways to download music. And the fact that these devices now can store so much information, and on top of that, the compression schemes for compressing the music to make it into a smaller file size, but keep the quality level kind of up. You know, we're doing MP3s. It's not the best quality, but the file size is smaller. The file size is smaller, so you can get more music onto a device. So not just a phone, but on your laptop, on your computer, and now on your iPads. So that it's so much easier for us to just download the music onto whatever device we're carrying around with us, and take our music everywhere. So that's so now all those CD pressing plants that were around and there's still some DVDs that are being made, but in a minute that's going to change also, because once the file size becomes a little bit smaller, and we as consumers, we upgrade our online service from like low-level basic DSL to much higher rate DSLs and also to fiber, then we're gonna look at downloading more videos and more movies into our homes, and so the need to actually go to a Redbox machine to rent a DVD, that's going to change too in the next few years. Although I've been to my local grocery store, and there was a Redbox kiosk outside, and I think it was on a Friday, like 5 o'clock in the afternoon or 6 o'clock. There were 10 people in line to return DVDs and to rent some new ones. So that's still an option. And because we no longer have music stores much, except here in LA, Amoeba is big, and there are a few places where you can actually buy CDs or trade CDs. You don't have your local video store here anymore much in this country, at least in LA. They've all basically dried up, and so the option now is to go to a Redbox to get an actual physical DVD to play at home. So that's changing very rapidly also. So I just wanted to let you know that yes, it is being noted that you're not buying CDs much anymore, and you're moving to these devices, which brings me to my next article, which is about TVE. Okay, that's a what's that and a new acronym. And I actually had to look it up a few days ago, because on my LinkedIn I was seeing TVE, and people in the business have a bad problem of using these acronyms like right off the bat when 3 of them know what it is. And then the rest of us are out there, okay, some of them you can intuitively figure out, but some of them it's like, okay, what's that E for after TV? And so I had one of those moments where I actually had to go look up TVE to see what, this guy that I really respect a lot, and I read a lot of his posts, and he was using TVE. It's TV everywhere. Okay, and what is TV everywhere? TV is on your phone, on your cell phone. When I say phone, I'm really talking about cell phone, because I'm like one of the last 25 people that has a wired phone left in their home. So I'm really referring to cell phones, iPads, laptops, connected televisions. Okay, that's TV everywhere. So if at a cocktail party or some event or networking or wherever you are, just throw out that term so you can look really, really smart. So anyway, so TV everywhere makes gains. iPad viewing is the most popular. Well, I wonder why. We'll talk about that in a second. And this is an article from Media Daily News that I got off of the internet. It's one of my go-to publications, and this is by Wayne Friedman. And TV everywhere efforts are forecast to make stronger gains in terms of usage this year, 2015, although growing too slowly for most TV executives. Okay, let me stop right there and talk about these TV executives. So early, back in the day, we were trying to, and I was one of those that was ringing the bell, okay, TV people, content producers, video producers, pay attention, because you want to be able to make your content so that it can go on any distribution format. And people were like hazing over. This was like 10 years ago I was talking about this, because, and even farther back than that, I was telling people, okay, when you produce your content, don't just produce it for the format that you're using right now or that people are using right now. You want to make your content so that, yeah, and it costs more money to do it that way, but you want to make it because you want to be able to repurpose that content later on for another format. So if you make it, for instance, only to go on the internet, and all of a sudden your content blows up and an HD cable channel wants to give you a contract to play back your content, you can't do it because you made that content only for it to be good enough at yesterday's internet specifications. So you lose. And this is something that I talk to my clients all the time, especially the content producers, you know, or even the want-to-be's and the ones that are experimenting. I say, okay, if you're gonna do this, be all in. That's that go big or stay home. I say stay home. So when you do produce this content, you really want to do it so that it can be at least at high def HD level. And that's, well, I can give you the numbers, a 1920 by 1080, so that at least you can be able to show your content on cable, because everybody's going to be moving to broadcasting HD. The pipes for distributing, like your DSL or however you get the internet into your home, those are going to get bigger and bigger so that you can have more content coming into your home at better quality levels, because I'm about to go to the National Association of Broadcasters. Last year at that same show, NHK was showing 8K digital video. Okay, 8K is like huge. It's stunning, by the way. But you right now in your home, you'd be happy if you could get 1080p, just standard HD or high def in your home, when you get rid of that big box TV that used to sit in your living room, and now you want the thinnest of flat panels and you want a 70-inch. Well, you know, the quality of the displays today is really stunning. So anyway, you know, the TV people, we were trying to tell them, okay, you guys are going to have to invest in digital television. Okay, this was back in 1996, and people were like not wanting to hear it until the FCC mandated that commercial broadcast stations convert to digital TV. So everybody probably knows about that part. But that meant that when whatever content that you had to be repurposed or transcoded. And if you didn't start out with robust content to start with, your content was going to get left out. So now that most of the commercial stations, you know, the over-the-air broadcast stations have converted over to digital television, and a lot of the cable networks, of course, can do higher end and charge you for it, broadcast. Now they figured out, oh, we're sitting on these piles and piles and piles of shows, videos, content that we've broadcasted in the past, and if we transcode that, then we can play that over cable, over high def, and figure out a way to play it over our devices. So now they want the pipes to be everybody to get bigger pipes and to be able to catch the content. So now you're seeing, well, at least I'm seeing that if you have a cable account and you're watching HBO, I'm just going to call some names, like HBO, CNN, the Tennis Channel, or even the over-the-air networks like ABC or CBS, any of those over-the-air networks, but you want to watch it on your device, what I'm seeing happen now, because they're getting smart, they're really getting smart, and they're tying all this stuff in. If you have a cable account, and say for instance, so there's a certain soap opera that I like to watch on my phone, like in the middle of the night when all my work is done, or at the end of the day. And I used to be able to watch it wherever I was on my phone. Now what's happening is that they will let you watch that show, that replay, say if it's a CBS replay or ABC, or pick any of the networks. In order for you to, some of the shows, to see that latest episode, they said, yes, you can watch that episode if you simply log in with your service provider user ID and password. We'll be happy to show you the latest episode of whatever it is. So what that means is that if you have DirecTV, or if you have Dish, or if you have, call any of them that you subscribe to get the cable content or the non-over-the-air channels, they want you to not just simply watch the shows on your regular TV through their black box, whatever their box is. They're not all black, but I call it a black box because you have to plug it into your TV. They want you now, because they know that you're going on the internet. They want you to go on their website and create a user ID and password for your DirecTV service, so that if you want to watch it as a standalone on your device, then for the latest episodes, you have to log in. You have to use your user ID and password. So now these content owners and the networks have made this kind of pact. I call it a pact. Okay, this is just me, but this is what I'm seeing happen. A pact with the people who you're getting your service with, to actually log in, use that login to watch their content. So what that says to me is that they are now looking at that partnership to be able to track and get data on what your viewing habits are. So now I'm not saying don't do it, but just understand what's happening. And they're going to have the analysis one way or the other anyway, because there's organizations like the Nielsen companies that do all the ratings, and they have their ways of getting that kind of information as well. But I just find it really, really fascinating. So now these TV executives have awakened and they're finding ways of where now they're in a big hurry to make sure that you can watch their content on any device that you have. Because what goes along with that? Commercials and advertising revenue for them. So now they've realized, we can make money and make ad revenue off of all these other devices too. Because they can go back to their advertisers and say, well, and this is me because I would do this. Okay, we'll give you a special package if we have your ads on these other devices. We're offering you another place where your advertising can be seen, not just on the TV that's in your home, but on devices that you take wherever you are. So now they're in a big hurry because that's more advertising dollars for them. So let me go on with this because this is really interesting. According to an Adobe Systems annual digital video survey, and I think I get that survey too, active viewership of TV Everywhere services will hit 18% of all paid TV customers who will be using it this year. And that's up from 13% a year ago. So that's saying that there was a 5% jump in who's using and watching TV content on different devices just from last year. That's a big jump. Okay, so and that's you people who are paying for TV, some kind of pay TV service, either it's satellite, cable, or some other means where you actually are a subscriber. So on average, 13 million viewers tuned into TV Everywhere services a year ago, and that's up from 6 million in 2013. So that sounds like a small number, but as you get more comfortable with using your cell phone and figuring out how to do other stuff besides taking pictures and doing a phone call, and that's why I'm doing my Meet Your Cell Phone workshops that I do around the Los Angeles area, is to help you learn more about the capacity and the capabilities of your phone and what you can do not only as a consumer but as a business person, especially as a business person, because that means dollars. Okay, I'm after capturing dollars too. Okay, so that just kind of gives you an idea. And then Adobe says Apple's iPad is the most popular screen to watch TV everywhere, with viewing on the tablets representing 29% of TV Everywhere videos viewed just in the fourth quarter of last year. Okay, Roku is the most popular connected TV device. Okay, connected TV. That means that it's a device, and on last week's show, on the last show, that is up on my YouTube channel, just look for show 33. I had an Apple TV device. I didn't bring it today. And that's an example of a box that you attach, black box, again, there's black boxes, different black boxes from the airlines, that you attach to your TV, your regular TV, or well, not a regular TV, because if you bought a TV in the last 3 years, it has a connection on that TV where you can connect this black box or Roku box, and it allows you to get the internet onto your regular TV screen. So now, because there's so much content that just abounds on the internet, now you can watch that on your connected TV using one of these boxes. Okay, because that and one of my earlier shows, I talked about how you get internet content and how that differs from over-the-air and regular over-the-air content, and the whole technical process for that, how that happens. Go back and check out my earlier YouTube shows. It's there. And you can actually, on a nice day when you don't have anything to do, be like Quincy. He watched 8 hours of Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle, so he got quite an education and enjoyed the music, except for a few songs, he said. Anyway, okay, so the iPad is the most popular for watching TV everywhere. Okay, it beats out the cell phones. And why is the iPad so popular? I'm finding from doing my Meet Your Cell Phone classes, as well as just being out and about, especially for seniors, they love the iPad. They love tablets. And the iPad is so user-friendly that a lot of the seniors that I know, they're walking around with iPads where you couldn't get them to understand a computer and always sit down at a desktop. Now, there are some seniors who just took it on as a mission, and I'm focusing on seniors right now, but it's everybody, because they are so user-friendly. There's not a lot that you can do on them, first of all, but they're so easy to use, and it's like a digital picture frame with the internet on it, so they can navigate around, and it's a bigger size than a phone, but it's smaller than carrying around a big laptop. And so they can see a lot better, and so they're watching a lot of video content, a lot of TV content, a lot of movies. You know, get on, when's the last time you've been on an airplane? When you've been on an airplane, how many iPads and tablets do you see people using on the airplane? That's why, because they're so easy to use and to watch. So as just a walk around standalone device, the tablets and the iPads, especially the iPads. That was like a disruptive game changer to how to view video content. I don't need to explain that because I know you guys are all part of that. You made that happen. So, but if you're at home and you want to watch it on your 55-inch or your 70-inch, well, not a lot of people have 70s, but the prices are coming down, and pretty soon I'll be announcing my online store where you'll be able to buy some of these devices from the Tech Diva right here. Okay, so you want to have like an Apple TV device, which started out being $300, and they got the message and they figured it out. So a couple years ago, they dropped the price down to $99, which is a better price. And so that, or the Roku. So let's see. So Roku is the most popular for the connected TVs, with 7% of the viewing audience using a Roku box. And then Apple TV is not that far behind at 5%. And then video game consoles, they're at 2%. So that's another place that figured it out. You know, this is a long teachable moment segment, but I just want to get this out. So your PlayStations, your all of those game boxes figured out, oh, we have enough real estate to put an Ethernet port right on and plug the internet in right to the PlayStation or right to all of these game devices. So, and that happened about 4 or 5 years ago. And because this is zeros and ones and it's digital data, it's not hard to find a place for where, because these consoles connect to a TV, that you just feed the content through the console and it will show up on your TV. They figured that out, and so now you can use a game console to watch videos and to watch TV on. And some of the portable devices, game devices that actually have a screen built in, you can watch it right in, and so you're right there. So check out your game device and see if you can plug it into your TV, if you bought a TV in like the last 2 or 3 years. And then maybe you already have a device in your actual home already that you can use to see the internet. Okay, so Adobe says gaming consoles and over-the-top or OTT devices now make up 16% of TV Everywhere authentications and will climb to 20% this year. So executives such as David Zaslav, President Chief Executive Officer at Discovery Communications, that's the Discovery Channel, have complained that TV Everywhere efforts, that's digital platforms that pay TV providers run for their traditional TV customers, are still moving too slow. So the TV executives, that is the people who own the channels like the Discovery Channel, the National Geographic Channel, all those different channels, they're content owners and providers. They're putting pressure on the cable systems and the cable networks to be able to make this stuff happen because they see cha-chings. Anyway, I bring this up as part of Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle because it's something for you to understand that you're having an impact on in terms of how you're being fed content, and because, you know, we get in a hurry also. So once we figure out how to use our phones, then we're like, well, how come that show's not on my phone? Or how come I can't see this show? We get into that whole mode and we're like, well, they need to hurry up because, you know, we always want what we want right when we want it. So I bring that up because I will be talking about all these different devices and get you in tune to be able to use them more effectively and more efficiently. And as I mentioned, you might have something that's already in your home that you can actually use to connect. And I'm the goddess of connections. So more than likely, I can find you a cable that will connect your device to your TV if you don't have it now. I'm the gear girl, so I'll be able to help connect you up. So if you do have something that you want to know, how can I connect this or can I connect this to my TV, then you can email me. Chris, can you put my email up? Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle has a new email. You can email me at tdllshow@techdivatv.com. That's, he's typing it up right now. It's TDLL, which of course is short for Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle, TDLL show at techdivatv.com. Email me these different things. I'm not taking phone calls now yet, but you can email me there, and I can respond back to you. And it might be something that you're not the only one, and other people have the same kind of pain point or problem that I can help solve. And that kind of communication I will do and bring that to the show if there are a lot of people that yeah, because you never know. You probably are not alone in trying to figure out some technology issue. So not only that, if you do have other technology problems that, or you wonder about this or that, then email me there, and it'll probably end up being a good topic for the show. Okay, with your TVE, your TV everywhere. Zenobia here, the Touchable Tech Diva, making technology touchable. That means making it so that you don't fear technology, but you embrace it and incorporate it into your lifestyle so that you can get more efficient and make some of this stuff automatic, so you can buy your time back and do your passion and do passionate things. So there you go. Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle. We're doing our part 2 of women jazz instrumentalists. Okay, let's get back to some more music. What did I say, Chris, we're gonna do?
Video.
We're gonna do a video. This is a hot video. To me, it's like so high energy. So check it out. I'll be back in a bit. Okay. I was just telling Chris, I'm going to have to go back and watch this myself, listen or watch, because it sounds so good in here, but I'm working, so I'm not really focused, but it sounds really good. So I'm going to join you in watching the replay. Give me a couple of days to get this up, and hopefully we won't have the sync problems that we had last time. Well, we're working on, Tech Diva is working on the sync problems. Okay, you just heard a rare, well, we hardly ever hear Patrice just play piano, but this is Patrice Rushen, and it's a standard red clay, called Red Clay, and that is from a little trio that he did. I have to read this off my laptop because it's better. The Jerry Gibbs sextet, I'm sorry, I said trio, but it's a sextet, Jerry Gibbs sextet. And it features Patrice and Undugo Chancellor. And they perform around LA together, or they did. And that was really, really fun to hear them live. But she's such a busy lady. She's a musical director for TV specials and award shows. And she just recently worked on an album that just came out, I think was December 1st, for one of my clients who appeared on my show, Stephanie Spurl. So I'll have Stephanie back. If you go back to the July 30th show on YouTube, Stephanie was a guest on that show, and so you can check her out. And I don't have her new music yet, shame on me, but I'm going to get it real soon and add it to a playlist. I keep forgetting I was trying out music and left my headphones in. Okay, so, and then prior to that, all these women are very talented, so I can't say that one is more talented. I love them all. Esperanza Spalding was featured, and this was, what did I call it? Unconditional Love, and that was Jerry Allen, Esperanza Spalding, and Terry Lynn Carrington. And we played the video, so I didn't announce that we were going to do the video, but the video is there. And but the music is just fabulous. They're just fabulous. Okay, and then prior to that was a tune called Invocation. Another great musician that is new to me, but she's gonna be on my phone here soon, is Montana Roberts, and that's from Coin Chapter 2, Mississippi Moonchild. Okay, I thought that was a really cool tune. And then you can look that up on iTunes if you want to hear it again, but you'll be checking out the replay of the show and you'll have it on the show. And let's see, and then opening up the show was a video of Nicole Mitchell. I'm getting the names all crazy today. Nicole Mitchell, and that was Nicole Mitchell's Black Earth Ensemble, Meadow Sunlight in the Swinging Fields. I love these titles. Anyway, so you can kind of feel what that feels like. Very, very talented. All of these ladies they're just the bomb. So, okay, so we have a few more minutes, and I'm going to come back to close out the show. We're going to hear a little taste of Nedra Wheeler, and then I want to end with some of a piece of Sheila E. Chris was asking me, where do you go to hear jazz in Los Angeles? So I'm going to have to do a rundown on jazz locations in Los Angeles. But Sheila E., I bring that up because Sheila E. now has a new place here in the San Fernando Valley, which is Los Angeles area. It's called the E Spot Lounge. And as I mentioned, one of my clients, Stephanie Spurl, did a concert there, a show there a couple of weeks ago. Her shows always sell out because she's fabulous in person. So anyway, Sheila E's, the E Spot Lounge is the new hot spot for jazz in LA. Okay, let's hear a little taste of Nedra Wheeler. I'll be back in a bit. Zenobia, the Touchable Tech Diva, here at Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle. Tech tools, toys, news, hot jazz, passionate living. See you in a bit. Okay, so I got Chris Allfangled and mixed up. So this is not Sheila E., but think about going to her club or checking out her music anyway. And all of this is going into my regular playlist. This, what you're listening to, is Althea Renee. It's called Snoochie Pooch. And prior to that, Nedra Wheeler. And that was The Thrasher from The Thrasher. Okay, I just have a couple of minutes. This has been really, really cool music. Like I said, I have to go and get my glass of wine after Easter Sunday and listen to this show myself. But hopefully you enjoyed it. See you next time. Okay, homework. Go out and listen to some live music, any kind of music, preferably jazz, but live music somewhere. Till the next time we meet, Zenobia here, the Touchable Tech Diva, host of Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle, tech tools, toys, news, hot jazz, passionate living. Tell your friends. See you next time.